Hey everyone, welcome to 99.6 The Howl for the uninitiated. This is an unedited YouTube vlog discussing everything Arizona Coyotes and a couple different looks for the Coyotes these past two games. A rough one against the Canadiens in a 4-1 loss, and then a bounce back win against the Colorado Avalanche in a 3-0 shutout win. And that Montreal game, pretty bad. One of their worst games of the season, just like that New York Islanders game about 2 weeks ago. Coming off of a long Eastern road trip, the Coyotes did not come out with any jump. Small energy, low energy, not hard on the forecheck. Weren't really pressuring the Canadiens' defense. A couple of frustrating goals. 3 goals in the first minute of each period. The Gallagher goal was not good. Wasn't a good goal. It was basically under Ronta's pad. And then Ronta loses a skate late in the beginning of the second period, and that was just frustrating how the whistle isn't blown when equipment malfunction happens with the goaltender. But it's not in the rule book, so you can't really complain. And then the whole game was just like a wash. Pretty much, you felt discouraged watching that game. Felt like you were wasting your time. The team didn't really show up, so why would the fan, show up to watch the full game? But thankfully, they bounced back against a tough opponent in the Colorado Avalanche, who had Francouz back in net. I know they pronounce it Franco or Francouz, but I like to call him Francouz. It's funner to say. And the Coyotes come out flying. They outshoot the Avalanche heavily. They score 2 goals. The first goal scored by Christian Dvorak, who's back on the scoreboard with his 5th goal, and then Kessel with an amazing bad angle shot to score. He was fed by Barrett Hayton, who looks like he's having, he's getting more comfortable as each game goes on. As he gets more ice time, he's looking better and better. He has 4 points in 6 games, 1 goal and 3 assists. Hayden, he's looking pretty good with that injury to Brad Richardson. Rick Talk is trying to juggle the lines and see what sticks, and Hayden's been granted some games with the Brad Richardson injury. Pretty sure Brad Richardson is going to come back in the lineup against the Alberta back-to-back Monday and Tuesday night. Not sure which one. Jordan Osterley is back in the lineup. Thankfully, he's back in the lineup. Lyubushkin got scratched. I think you'd expect Lyubushkin to get sent down to the Tucson Roadrunners. Carry Aaron Ness for time being, because Ness looks better than Lyubushkin. I'm surprised they sent Kyle Capobianco down instead of Lyubushkin, but I think they want Kyle to get more games in the AHL instead of staying up in the press box. But Ness, he fills a role nicely. He's more offensive. He doesn't really make too much defensive mistakes like Lyubushkin. He's got a good breakout pass. And speaking of breakout passing, the Colorado Avalanche, their defense could not break out this whole game. I mean, kudos to the Coyotes for putting pressure on the Avalanche's D-men, because they were fumbling the puck every which way, especially in that first period. And the Coyotes were just jumping on pucks and hounding loose pucks and getting a lot of shots on the inexperienced Francouz. In the second period, the Coyotes found themselves in so many penalties. I think it was 3 or 4 penalties they had to kill. And Darcy Kuemper came up huge. What a performance by Kuemper. Really putting his foot down that he's a starter of this team. And I'm starting to come around that Darcy Kuemper is a starting goalie for this Coyotes team. Ronta had a rough game against Montreal. But, the team kind of let him down in that game. But still, a couple of those goals he probably should have had. Obviously the skate issue isn't his fault. But Kuemper is just so steady. He was hounded in that second period, making unbelievable point-blank shots. And it was great to see Kuemper, confident, getting back in the net, back into his routine, and just showing no rust in his game. And it's great that the Coyotes have that option of going to a fully rested, confident goalie when one goalie has an off night. We'll see how Talkin handles the back-to-back. Pretty sure each of those goalies will get a game. I doubt Talkin will play the same goalie twice, even though Kuemper had a stellar game against the Avalanche. But, the Coyotes kind of, faltered in that second and third period. I'm not going to fault them for the second period at all, because he had to defend so much with those penalty kills, and they managed to score on the tail end of their own power play. It wasn't a power play goal, but once the Avalanche player came out of the box, Connor Garland with a great feed by Nick Schmaltz to get that third important goal, and from then on, the game kind of slowed down in the third period. Not too many high danger chances for any team, and the game kind of just closed in on itself and finished 3-0. I want to talk about Nick Schmaltz. He's got 12 points in 13 games. He's killing it. Nick Schmaltz is killing it. I mean, he's got confidence. He could shoot the puck. He could pass the puck. Doesn't matter. He does each with so much skill, and he's really, carrying the team now that Keller's offensive prowess is kind of taking a step back this season. He's getting assists. I mean, he got an assist last night on Dvorak's goal. But goal scoring is just not there for Keller. But, Dvorak and Schmaltz are picking it up. And Connor Garland with his 7th goal of the season. Garland just continues to surprise me. I don't know what it is with him, but I always expect him to just fall back down to earth and just, become a complacent third-line forward. But no, he tries so hard every game. He scores important goals. He's got an accurate shot. He's always hungry, and he just gets rewarded so much. He has the most goals on the Coyotes ever since he got called up last season. So he's consistent in his goal scoring, and he just gets those important goals. And it's great to have him on the team. He energizes the team. He dictates how the team's gonna play on any given night. So kudos to Garland for proving me wrong. I got to come around on him, give him the benefit of the doubt now, because he produces, and that's all he does is produce. And that's pretty much, it was a good defensive game by the Coyotes. The defense did a phenomenal job. Ekman-Larsson, Demers, Goligoski, no blatant bad turnovers in that Avalanche game. And the Canadiens game, they got run around in their own end and weren't really mentally prepared for that game. But against the Colorado Avalanche, they were just on point. Great to have Osterley back in the lineup. He looked fresh, ready, back into his regular form. No hesitation in his game, which is good to see from a head injury and missing about 5 or 6 games. So that's great that he could just come back in the lineup seamlessly. And that's it. They got a big Battle of Alberta back-to-back. Connor McDavid, Dave Tippett, the Calgary Flames. We'll see what happens. They got to take advantage of their weak goaltending and their weak defense, and maybe they could eke out 2 wins. If they get both of those wins, that's gravy. But we'll see when that happens. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support.